Anya from Cooking with Plants, and today I'm making a no-knead, gluten-free potato and thyme focaccia bread. So for this recipe you're going to need a large mixing bowl, and I've also got a stirring spoon for mixing all the ingredients together. I'm actually going to be stirring the main mixture with the back of this handle because it's going to represent a dough hook. So I'm just going to pretend I'm a machine and do this kneading, but without my hands, just a stir through, and that's all you'll need to do. So the first ingredient I'm adding to the bowl today is 1 cup of sorghum flour. To that mixture I'm adding 1 cup of corn flour. So this is an organic corn flour, it's just dried corn and then ground down into a flour. I'm also adding 2/3 of a cup of tapioca flour and 1/3 of a cup of chickpea flour or besan flour. And I'm also adding in 1 teaspoon of instant dried yeast. And then I'm just going to use the front of this spoon just to mix the dry ingredients, just to make sure that all of these flours are well combined and that the yeast is evenly mixed through as well. Okay, so it's time to add the water to this. I've just got room temperature water, and this is actually about 2 cups worth, or 2 metric cups, 500 ml, or approximately 17 fluid ounces. So I'm just going to add about half of this to start with. And then just give it a stir through. It's almost combined. I'm just going to add a fraction more water to this mixture. So just make sure you don't add too much water, otherwise you'll end up with a pancake batter. Okay. So that's come together nicely. Just get those last bits of flour off the bottom of the bowl. I will stick my hands into this just for a second, just to lift, and that's all the kneading that you're going to do. So it's pretty much just a stir dough, and this is now going to sit for about an hour. I'm just going to cover it with a tea towel and let it sit in a draft-free warm area. I'll probably just put it in my oven but not turned on. Okay, so this dough has been sitting for about 2 hours now because I actually went out for a little while. And yes, so as you can see, it's gone a little bit spongy, which is perfect. So I'm just going to lift this out onto a baking tray that's been lined with some non-stick parchment paper. And what I've also done is I've chopped up a couple of small potatoes that I'd already boiled yesterday actually, so they were cooled down in the fridge overnight. And I've just sliced them into small circles or discs, and I'm going to be placing them onto this dough in a moment. So I've also got some fresh thyme leaves, but you could use some dried if that's all you have on hand. So what we want to do now is just shape this into a rough rectangular sort of pattern or shape so it resembles a focaccia. Okay, so while you're flattening out your dough and shaping it, just preheat your oven to 210 degrees Celsius or 420 degrees Fahrenheit. Then once you're done flattening this out, just poke your fingers in there, which will help this to cook evenly. And then I'm just going to place some potato across this, and I'm going to push it into this dough. So that's all the potato pushed in, and now I've got some fresh thyme. I'm just going to pull some of these leaves off and sprinkle them across the top. Oh, that smells yummy. Nothing like the smell of fresh herbs. Delicious. I'm just going to push the herbs in as well. Okay, so last but not least, I'm just going to sprinkle over some coarse sea salt, or if you had sea salt flakes as well, it would work really well. Oops. Just roughly spread it across the top. And again, just give it a light push down. And this is ready to go in the oven. Okay, so this has been cooking for about 20 minutes. If you wanted to, you could cook it a little bit longer, depending on how brown and crispy you like your breads. So I'm just going to transfer this to a wooden board. Pull that across. Move this out of the way. And this is ready to serve. I like to eat this hot out of the oven, and that's what I'll be doing shortly. I've got some friends coming over, so I won't attack this just yet. I'm just going to have this with some nice soup, a nice hot soup, because it is winter in Australia. But yeah, this would go well with hummus or a nice salad, anything that you'd like to have with it, or just have it on its own. I hope you liked today's recipe, and if you want to print this, it's on my website at CookingWithPlants.com, and I'd also love to hear from you on Facebook at Cooking with Plants. See you next time for the next recipe. Bye for now.